TFA fam. What is going on? Appreciate you guys joining us. It is the Week 10 Prop Talk show. If you guys have any start sit questions, we will get to them at the end. But we are here for the props tonight. Or if you just want to leave a comment on one of the other YouTube videos or just join the Discord, you can do it there and we will answer all your start sit questions elsewhere. Tom, I know you have a bunch you want to get to. You said this is going to get off the rails. You have 18 props in the Philly game that you like, which if you didn't learn from my mistake during the Philly-Detroit game, I hope it works out better for you than it did for me. But why don't you go ahead and get us kicked off? What is the first prop you like for Week 10?
Yeah, and we will get to all your starts. Start shit. Wow, awesome. Good start. Start sit stuff at the very end, so don't go anywhere with it. Yeah, full disclosure, this first one, I probably like the least out of the other ones. That's nothing against this one, but I just wanted to say, like, level of confidence, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good, but it's not like great. CPAT, the machine, 91.5 rushing and receiving yards. Yeah, I mean, Dallas defense has been pretty good against running backs, right? Only comparable is Eckler that he faced, but he had 115 yards in week 2. It's crazy that I just compared Cordero Patterson to Austin Eckler, by the way. Yeah. But that's where we're at. It's 2021. We have fucking COVID. It's awesome. Last week, Cowboys got absolutely lit the fuck up by Melvin Gordon and Javonte for 206 yards. Atlanta knows they have to keep Patterson involved. He's top 100 total yards in 4 of his 6 last games and went for 136 last week. He's just a really safe play at this point. It's kind of nuts. I still don't even know what I'm saying because I'm saying all these things about Cordero Patterson. I don't get it. Yeah. But you know what? CPAT's going to get some chunk plays, and that winds up leading to big days close to 100 yards. So as long as it's under 100 yards, I don't mind taking this bet whatsoever. So, Cody, yeah, CPAT, 91.5 rushing and receiving.
I like his receiving. It's like 43.5. So you're not crazy. I think Walito talked about it last week, and he came through for Walito. But you mentioned a guy who I'm going to talk about first for the brand, Sir Austin Eckler, over 101.5 total yards. Now, Minnesota's rush defense has been hashtag not good this year, if you want to say that. They're allowing the 9th most rushing yards to running backs on the year. They rank 26th in rush DVOA. They are dead last in Football Outsiders adjusted line metric. And if you want something else, a little cherry on top of that, Anthony Barr and Michael Pierce have already been ruled out for this game. Both those guys were starters for them. And Eckler has hit this in 5 of his 8 games this year as well. So I like the total at 101.5 for Eckler.
So it's funny. I'm looking at Austin Eckler. I'm like, man, I kind of like Austin Eckler. And then it's like your buddy over there in high school, like said, like this girl was hot one time, and you're like, I don't think I can take him because dibs and all. So I didn't, and you did it. So yeah, my next one, I'm going to go Mike Evans over 71.5 yards. He has topped that number 5 out of his 8 matchups this year. Comes into a game with a hobbled Chris Godwin after an odd bye week injury. Cody, I mean, what's Godwin doing? Is he out there in Tampa like finger banging jellyfish or some shit? Like what? And I don't even know how that's relevant to a foot injury, but I did he step on a sea urchin or something while it was happening? I don't fucking know. Whatever. I digress. No AB, Godwin's hobbled, and this is against a Washington defense that's absolutely dog shit against wide receivers. Actually, Cody, you know what? Dog shit is nice when talking about Washington. The Washington secondary is less sticky than a strip club floor. That's right. They've given up the most fantasy points to wide receivers in the league, give up almost 206 yards to wide receivers a game, Evans should eat. Vegas also indicates they're going to hit a deep ball as well. Over under for longest receptions, 25.5. That was at 28.5 at one point. It got bet down. I'm not taking that. Still an indicator. Evans TD, I'm going to take that as well. I think Washington has let up the most touchdowns of wide receivers as well. Cody, what do you think? You feeling sticky?
I don't. There's so much to unpack there. I just don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna keep going before I freeze. I like Evans in this game, even with Godwin. He's expected to play now, but like you said, still hobbled for whatever the injury might be from. You know, that is speculation from Tom. I don't think he has any sources there, but I'm going to go with another total. I don't know if I have ever bet on this guy before, so take that with a grain of salt. But Aaron Jones over 90.5 total yards. He actually has. I feel like he's been really disappointing for fantasy this year outside of that one monster game that he had, which he has every year. But outside of that, I feel like it's kind of been pretty blah with Aaron Jones. But with this 90.5 total yard mark, he has failed to hit that just 3 times this year out of his 9 games. Gets that matchup against Seattle. Aaron Rodgers going to be back. The Seahawks have allowed the 12th most rushing yards to running backs on the year, as well as the 3rd most receiving yards. So, like I said, I really like this total here. I know A.J. Dillon has been getting involved and, kind of seems like he's becoming like the hotness and the guy that people want to talk about. But Aaron Jones is still averaging 17.4 opportunities on the year. So I feel like if he can get, his 15-ish rush attempts and like another 4 or 5 targets, something like that, he should have no problem hitting this. So Aaron Jones over 90.5 total yards.
Yeah, and I like that you did the total yards there because the receiving backs are what's killing Seattle right now. They've given up the 2nd most receiving yards to running backs, and that is only by 30 some yards, and they have played 1 less game. So that tells you everything you need to know about what they do as far as like their linebacker play against running backs, which Aaron Jones should be able to exploit this week. I'm going to stick with the hashtag the brand. And we're going to go with Jerry Judy. We're going to go over 5.5 receptions. If you got in early like me, it was at 57.5 and it got bet up to 65.5. I still like the 65.5. I just feel more comfortable with the receptions. And also, me taking guys against the Eagles, Cody. Isn't that odd? Crazy, right? You shocked?
I would never imagine. I'm very shocked. This is
right.
My
well,
the
Eagles are dog shit. They're the aforementioned dog shit on the shoe. Actually, you're not even wearing shoes. It's shit on like your bare foot that you stepped in. You were at a party, and now you have to borrow someone's hose to wipe the shit off your foot. That's what it is. That's the Eagles defense. What was I talking about? I'm kidding.
You talk a lot about shit today.
Well, that's what the matchups are, man. That's what it says. I don't know. This is a journey. I'm just on a journey with you. Anyway, Eagles defense, Mickey Mouse, Teddy Two Gloves should be able to pick them apart underneath. They play a 2-deep cover that leaves the middle of the field wide open. If a QB's patient, takes what's given to him, he's going to absolutely light them up. They'll take the 8-yard completions all day. Derek Carr looked like Joe fucking Montana out there against them. Justin Herbert shredded. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's silly. And that's Teddy in a nutshell as well. He's going to take what he's given. He's not going to push the ball down the field and be irresponsible with the ball necessarily. He's just going to play safe football and move the ball down the field. So Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon hasn't adjusted all year. I'd be shocked if they do it here. Eagles have allowed 5 receivers to get 6 catches or more, and every single one of them has lined up in the slot quite often. Wow, that's what Jerry Judy does. I gave those numbers to you last week, and it held true last week as well. He's going to be in that Eagles weak spot. Judy has 6 catches in 2 of his 3 games he's played in this year. First game back after the injury, he was eased back in, so I'm not really just going to hold that one against him. I think he's going to garner between 8 to 10 targets this week. I expect him to be efficient enough to hit this catch number and probably that 65.5 number as well. And yeah, dude, I oddly like a lot in this game. Judy receiving yards and catches, Devonta receiving yards, Fant yards, Jordan Howard, Javonte rushing. This is like the same game parlay one that I'm doing. Dude, Jordan Howard, 40.5 rushing yards. I can't believe I'm going to say it. I'm putting money on Jordan Howard by himself to beat this. And Eagles running back, I'm going to put money on because it's more than anything else. It's 40.5. It's the number. Since he's been activated 2 games, he's gone 57 and 71. They're actually using him. He's got 12 and 17 carries in 2 games. Again, the over's 40.5. The math checks out. If he gets 10 carries, he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. I'm going to do it. I feel like I need a shower, but I'm going to do it. I feel better about Javonte, but I'm going to do Jordan Howard, man. I don't get it. I hate myself.
You're gonna need to shower in bleach and Clorox. There's not a regular shower that is going to help rinse that stench off of you.
Right.
The last one I'm going to talk about is going to be Michael Pittman over 64.5 receiving yards. The Jags are actually like semi-decent against the run. I think they're giving up the 3rd fewest yards per carry on the season. But against the pass, you want to talk about dog shit. You want to talk about awful. Look no further than the Jags pass defense, my friend. They are dead last in pass DVOA, 23rd in PFF's pass coverage grade, and they are tied with your Eagles for giving up the 4th highest passer rating allowed, and they've given up the 10th most yards to receivers on the year. And if just in case you want to feel a little bit better about putting some money on Michael Pittman and the breakout that we all love to see happening, Brandon Cooks, week 1, $132. Cortland Sutton, $159. AJ Green and Christian Kirk both went over 100. Tyler Boyd went for 118. Jamar Chase, 77. Jalen Waddle, 70. Tyler Lockett with Geno Smith went for $142. Diggs went for 85 last week. There has only been one game this year where a wide receiver has not hit 65 yards against them, and I think that was A.J. Brown and the Titans, like week 3 or something like that. Other than that, at least one receiver has hit this every single week. I also like Pittman to score a touchdown as well. I think that one's sitting just above plus money. I don't think it's anything crazy, but I think it's right above there. Like
that was another one. That was another one I was looking at. I looked at all the numbers you said. I just didn't wind up getting into it, but I like that one a lot. I don't know what to say. It's good. Should I keep talking about the Denver Philly game? Because I still feel gross, but I want to do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you need to get those demons out.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk about Javonte because it makes me feel good. Okay, Eagles play, that trash defense that I was talking about. Allowed 8 running backs to get 49 yards or more. Javonte is top 46.5, 5 out of his 9 games this season. Tore up the Cowboys last week, had his first 100-yard game. Nice to see. I like him to top that number. Noah Fant, 34.5. Eagles have allowed the most fantasy points in the league to tight ends this year, and it's not really close. Baltimore is the second worst, and they average 1.9 less per game than Philly does. That's just silly. I have some other ones, but so the point is, same game parlay. I'm doing it. You can get your odds up there. You don't necessarily have to have these guys at these numbers. That's the good part about the same game parlay is the numbers are tiered. So you could probably get Javonte for maybe 35 or 40, depending on what you're looking at. So that's good to know there. A few others I'm intrigued by. Michael Carter, over 4.5 receptions at plus 130. Mike White's back, so he's going to get that check down action unless he gets knocked out of the game early again, in which case we're all just throwing our money down the drain. Tyreek. I haven't talked a lot about Tyreek this year for good reason. This is going to be a weird one. You ready? Tyreek over half a rushing yard. So Tyreek to get a rushing yard. He's gotten a carry in 6 games, and he's gained a yard in at least 5 of them. So, you know what? Why not? Right?
I thought we were going to get real weird. I thought you were about to take an under on Tyreek.
Honestly,
I was preparing my body.
Okay. So if you're going to prepare your body, because I look at Tyreek stats every single week just to know them and like ingrain them in my soul. And this one made me cry. I believe he's only hit his longest reception total 2 out of 2 games this time. He's hit the over this year.
Wow.
If you're taking Tyreek to hit the over on longest catch, 2 times. Not great, Bob. I'm not taking the under ever, but just saying, not good. I obviously have money on JT over 113.5 total yards there, Walito. There you are right there. Because brand, first of all, obviously. He's gone over that number 6 out of his 9 weeks, covered his total the last 6. And here's another one I thought was pretty intriguing. Dalvin Cook longest rush is at 17.5. He's gotten that in 4 out of 6 games, and 2 games he didn't hit was 13 and 17. So he's popping a big runoff every single week. So that's another intriguing one. Do you see anything that you liked aside from that other stuff?
I looked at Dalvin's rushing yards just because of how bad the Chargers rush defense has been. It's like 90.5. Like I think it's okay. Like, but I don't know if I'll actually put any money on it. I know he hit was like 110 last week, but if you take away that massive run he had, he really didn't do much outside of that. But I think this Chargers rush D is much worse than Baltimore, so I like that. I want to take an under, but I don't know if I can do it. Justin Jefferson under 75.5 receiving yards. I looked at it. The numbers are there to support it. I think the Chargers have given up like the 2nd or 3rd fewest yards to receivers. I think they are, like top 10 in pass DVOA, and they have only allowed 2 wide receivers on the year to go over 75.5 yards. Like, I just don't know if I can actually get myself to. Yeah, only 2 receivers. I can't remember who they were. There was one. I think Devontae, obviously Devonta Smith, last week went for $110, $115, right? So he did it to him, and then there was another one I can't remember.
Minnesota, you say?
No, the Chargers.
Oh, Chargers. My bad.
Yeah.
My brain, it's fucked up. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's what happens when you talk about sea urchins and finger banging jellyfish. Like you're
no. That's the result of being in too many explosions. So, go to your recruiting office, gents. You know, one guy who did tear that Chargers defense up, Devonta Smith. All right, he's good in football. How about that? That's all I can't remember. Look forward to.
I can't remember who the other one was, but there's only been 2 receivers to hit that number against them. To go over 75.5 receiving yards against the Chargers. They've only allowed that to 2 receivers. Yeah, Devonta
and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I think he hit 80?
81.
That was it. So I like it, but I don't know if I can do it. Like I said, the numbers are there, but I don't. And then the other one, if our fearless leader is in here, has Kev popped up at all? I have it all the way at the top of the chat.
I have not seen him yet.
Okay, so maybe his ears will catch on fire and he'll enter after this. But Dan Arnold over. Listen, Dan Arnold, it's like at 45.5 receiving yards.
Yeah.
The Colts. Oh, let me pull it up real quick because I started to do it, but I was like, I can't actually talk about Dan Arnold.
I saw a Dan Arnold stat this week. Does he have like the longest yards per reception on the team since he's joined or some shit like that? I think I saw that.
So the Colts have given up the eighth most receiving yards to tight ends. They are tied for the second most touchdowns given up to tight ends. And Dan MF and Arnold has 60 or more yards in 3 of his 5 starts for the Jags.
They traded what? Was that who did they trade?
Henderson.
Yeah. And we were all like, "You fucking clowns."
Still clowns,
Well
but
done.
they've somehow made it work. Do you have anything else, or do we want to get some of these comments?
We can get some of the comments. Walito has a million out there that we can talk about. So
always,
yeah, we're good.
All right, so we got Crip's question. Uzi want to know if D-Hop is out, Khalif Raymond or Mecole Hardman in the flex. Is Tyler Johnson or James Washington available? I would rather start both those guys over Khalif Raymond or Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, I don't think you can trust Mecole. So
no.
Out of those two, I'd go Raymond. But yeah, I would search the waiver wire there.
Yeah, that if you're talking about Raymond and Mecole Hardman, like I feel like you should be able to go out and pick up James Washington. Like maybe see if like Van Jefferson is still hanging out there for some reason. I would, Uzi, if you're still rocking with us, go search your waiver wire and let us know what options you have. Walito, I see the $15 Canadian dollars super chat. Just trying to get to some of these first. We'll throw that up here in a second. Wayne wants to know, need 2 flex in a standard. Darrell Williams, Ramondre Stevenson, Van Jefferson, Callaway, and Manny. Is Stevenson out of concussion? I think he's still questionable, right?
I think he's going to wind up being out of it. But so it's if he's out of it. So standard, I don't even know what's standard. Join a PPR league, Peter Pan. Grow up. No, I'm kidding. Whatever. Henderson and Ramondre if he plays. If not, oh no, never mind. That's Darrell Williams, not Henderson. Shit. Reading's fun.
So Damian Harris is ruled out. But
yeah, I know that.
Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson is yet to clear a concussion protocol.
Right.
I'm going to go tomorrow. If Stevenson plays, it's Stevenson and Williams. If Stevenson does not play, I'm going Williams and Van Jeff.
I'm doing the same exact thing.
So Walito did have Evans over 71.5. He also had Judy. Josh Allen over 33. Oh, hold on. Let me get to Perry's question before we go down this deep dark hole.
This Canadian rabbit hole.
Pitts. All right, Pitts or Goddard. Let's start there.
I'm gonna go Pitts there. By the way, his over under is up to 71 or 73.5, depending on the site. Yeah. That started at 63.5. So we have
holy shit.
We're officially in Kyle Pitts is going like straight God mode season. So that's pretty fun. So yeah, Kyle Pitts is pretty much an automatic start every single week unless you have Kelsey or Andrews. Really, I'm starting Pitts over Waller probably at this point.
And then DJ Moore, Beasley, Donovan Peoples-Jones, or one of or Goddard. So we're already starting Pitts.
Oh, man, if you need,
I think I'm going Pitts and Goddard. Can't start DJ Moore.
I know you can't.
Beasley,
PJ Walker.
Like I can't do that. No, with Goddard sitting. No, with Goddard sitting worse? There.
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
Sorry. So Beasley's like it's crazy. I'm talking about Cole Beasley and DJ Moore, and I'm going to say Beasley's probably your safer option.
I would if I didn't pick Goddard, it would be if we needed 3, it would be the 2 tight ends and Beasley. 100%.
Yeah, which is I hate myself.
But Perry, I will go with the 2 tight ends there. What about Fant over Schultz?
Yes.
Especially with Gallup back. I'm not entirely sure what to think how those targets split there. And
Redistribute.
that entire team seems to be like super excited. Like I saw a couple of quotes that were coming out about Gallup returning and like Dak
Michael
was talking him
Jordan
up.
Is done playing baseball and he's back on the Cowboys playing receiver apparently.
And like in his prime.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
they're all super. Hey, I like Michael Gallup. Dynasty leagues. Go out and buy yourself some Michael Gallup before he goes to another team next year and is their 1A, 1B. Anyway, Josh Allen over 33.5 rushing.
I don't know. I feel like Forky right there. Like I gotta look up how many times he's done that to give Walito an accurate answer there.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean, you
know, ain't bad. But like quarterback rushing numbers, unless it's Lamar, pretty much, and just Lamar, because you can't even depend on Kyler because the injury and he wants to throw more. It's hit or miss there. Where the fuck am I looking? Come on, man. My brain is fried.
What about Zeke over 75.5 rushing? That was one that I did look at that I do like. Feel okay about it. Seems like the knee shouldn't be an issue.
No, I don't think the knee should be an issue. The
matchup definitely isn't an issue.
What?
So the matchup definitely isn't an issue.
No, it's not, but the Falcons aren't horrible against the run. Falcons are 18th in the league, but they've played 8 games, so it is what it is. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'm just worried about Pollard getting in there and screwing that up for him. Ingram over.
I mean, we saw Pollard's snap share jump up last week, but he was also banged up in that game. So Ingram over 53.5 rushing. This is the Titans defense has actually gotten much better
the last 3-4 weeks. Yeah.
Yes, over the past 3 weeks, and with Simeon there, with not having to worry about, and you know what I mean, like no Kamara, obviously, but like I wanted to take it, but then I was like, I don't know. Like I might look at, I forget what Ingram's receiving total is. Like I might look at his receiving total because he did see 5 targets last week with Kamara in there. So I might look at his receiving total, but like his total yards, his rushing, like I don't know. I don't know.
His total yards, which is what I was thinking I would like, is at 85.5. Yeah. And I don't think I can do that. His receiving is at 27.5, which that's about where it's gonna. Vegas, I think, has him kind of pegged. But I mean, shit, the Canadian bastard got it right last week with Ingram rushing, so I mean, why not?
Well, last week it was also like 7.5 yards as well. We're just like, just why are you doing it?
Right.
CMC over 107.5 total yards.
Yeah, I was looking at CMC this week, and I can't quite bet on him yet. I have to see him perform to the level I think that we need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Under this new run. Got DJ rocking with us, coming through with the super chat. Appreciate that. DJ always coming through and supporting TFA. Full PPR, Beasley, Russell Gage, or Ayuk. Already have Ingram in the other flex. Who do you like here out of these names?
I think Beasley's your safest. Ayuk, man, he's running more routes than anybody else on the team. Apparently, the last couple of weeks, he's looking good. Actually performed the best that he did last week with Kittle back in the lineup. I don't know. Crazy, right?
They were also getting spanked the entirety of that. They were also getting spanked during that game as well.
Well, the point is, I think if you need more upside, so say you're projected to lose your matchup, I'd probably go Brandon Ayuk. And then if you're kind of like just towing the line right along with him, I'd go Beasley because he's the safest option.
Yeah, I agree. I do like Beasley in this matchup, in this slot. Over the past 4 games that Josh Allen has played, he only has a 7.4 A dot, which is tied for 22nd, 25th, something like that, like low to mid 20s out of all quarterbacks during that time. Like, he has not been taking the deep shots. They're basically getting that same treatment that Tyreek and Patty are getting, where they're not letting them take him deep. So in this matchup, the Jets have another Michael Carter that is their slot corner, and he has given up the ninth most yards from the slot this year. And if you look at Beasley's targets over the past 3 weeks, it's like 11, 9, and fucking 12 or something like that. He's basically averaging between like 9 to 10 targets the past couple of weeks. So I do like Beasley in this matchup, but I do agree. If you need a boom bust kind of option, I would roll with Ayuk there. RC Cola rocking with us. Rock out wants to know in 2 flex, Carter, Javonte, Judy, Kirk. We go in the middle. We go in the middle 2 there.
You got my juices flowing, I'll tell you that. That's exciting. I'm definitely going Judy. And probably Javonte as well. But Javonte and Michael Carter are really close for me.
No love for Kirk?
I like Kirk. I just prefer the other 3. Ain't no shame in Christian Kirk. Come on, man.
Well, you didn't mention him.
I didn't have to. Wasn't going to talk to me like, well, I talked for like 30. Now you're making me do it anyway, so I guess I should have just fucking talked about him. Yeah, Christian Kirk, he's really good, but I wouldn't start him. Is that better?
I think if D-Hop is out, I would go Kirk over Javonte.
Oh, God damn it. I keep forgetting about D-Hop. Such an asshole for doing this to me. And Kyler.
So Kyler looks like he's going to be okay. D-Hop is a game-time decision. If D-Hop's out, I go Kirk. If not, it's Judy and Javonte for me.
I'm okay with that. And I think Kirk is the bigger boom option between the other 2 as well.
And then also playing from the slot, not going to have to worry about Gilmore either. Yeah. So Cooper, 60.5.
I don't know.
I'm staying away with Gallup.
So am I. That's what I mean. Like so you had the exact reaction I do. Is like I'm not sure what, aside from CeeDee Lamb, because he's going to be running the slot there, and he's going to get his yards. He's going to get his action. I can't take Cooper yet, and he's been banged up a little bit too. So I can't do it yet. No, so Walito. Sorry.
You already talked about Fant. DK. This was another one that I also looked at. Obviously, with Russ coming back, the Packers' numbers look better on paper than what I think they deserve to be. I feel like they haven't played anybody. You know what I mean?
So I remember DK absolutely killing Green Bay once or twice. So give me a second. I'll get his splits against Green Bay.
Yeah, I like this. This game got bet down and then bet right back up as soon as Aaron Rodgers was confirmed in from passing all the COVID protocol stuff. So this is one that I looked at. I'll probably end up on it. Just didn't
jump.
Yeah.
That's all. So it's funny with some props, some things jump out at you that really shouldn't, and then others you have to find them through doing research for like other players. You're like, oh shit, he's gonna be really good. Okay.
Yep.
Dude, am I just making stuff up in my brain? Because this is the first time he's ever played Green Bay.
Maybe you're just putting that out into the universe.
Listen, okay,
Tyreek?
guys. I had a premonition. DK's going for like $150 plus. Okay, so
And not
he,
just this time, but the next time he plays, he plays.
right. He tears them up the next 2 times he plays them. So take the longest reception. I guarantee you he hits a long one.
And now you're going to be eliminated by the government because we figured out why you've been so good at props is because you're literally peering into the future. What about Tyreek over 72.5?
Yeah, sure. But I fucking what they did, like defenses around. I'm so mad that they're doing the same thing. Like defenses are doing the same shit to Kansas City and Buffalo, and they were the 2 funnest offenses in the league. And it's just like, yep, dump, 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 dump. So he needs volume and he needs one bigger catch. Like he's gonna pop off. So I'm never gonna say don't take that. But you know what I mean, Code? Makes sense?
Can never take the under.
No, don't do that.
What about Keenan over 6.5 receptions?
Yeah, I mean, taking Keenan Allen with receptions is always a safe bet. So I'm good with that.
CMC over 4.5.
Also fine with that one. I would do that one as opposed to any yards that he's going to get because I feel like you're probably going to see some checks.
They also have Arizona has the athletes too in order to be like, you know what I mean, like at least minimize CMC's damage, especially through the air. They have those two linebackers who
Simmons
and Collins, right? The second one
Collins?
they took in the isn't that his name?
No,
starts with Z.
Oh yeah, Zaven Collins. My bad.
Yeah,
inside linebacker. Yeah, you're right. You right.
Adams over 7.5 receptions. I like this one.
They also have Hassan Reddick, but he's playing more. I think he's playing more D end.
Yeah, and Budda Baker
coming out of college, he was just a monster. Listen. I'm sorry. I live on the East Coast. Whatever. I don't.
Adams 7.5.
Adams, sure. Dude, his receiving number is 95.5.
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I wanted to take it. And I was like, I can't. I want to. Should I?
Right.
I don't know. But I do like the receptions. What about Gibson over 61.5 total yards?
I mean, he's broken my heart too many times, so I'm not doing it.
We'll move on. AJB longest catch 26.5.
Big number.
I feel like even though the Saints secondary has been very suspect, when literally the only thing you have is AJB. Julio just went on IR.
Yeah.
Like what? You're worried about Des Fitzpatrick, 27-year-old Des Fitzpatrick, the rookie who somehow did 2 terms in Louisville.
Yeah, in Congress, by the way.
Yeah, congressional terms.
Yes, congratulations, Congressman Fitzpatrick.
How do you feel about Lockett longest catch?
I like that more than I like AJ Brown longest catch.
DPJ 20.5.
We're at the crazy point in our lives where I'm actually going to say sure.
It could. Obviously all it takes is one with him, and he can play that role, does play that role for him, but
I mean, the good thing with Baker is unless
I want to know what Walito does for money. Walito, how do you make money? You can just throw Donovan Peoples-Jones? Sure.
Right.
Mark Ingram rushing yards with Alvin Kamara active? Hell yeah.
Tyreek over a half a yard? Do it. Oh, wait, that was me.
So back to Uzi's question. We talked about the wide receivers. Would you start both Washington and Patty Fry?
No. Both of them?
Yeah. I couldn't do that either.
No, that's too much exposure there for a game where you're going to have a backup quarterback playing.
Bryce, 2 flex spots, Deontay, Debo, Ingram. Who are we sitting out of this trio?
I'm starting Debo. Dude, I can't.
Are you going to sit
Nope.
Deontay for Mark
No,
Ingram?
I'm not. I can't. I was trying to talk I was trying to talk myself into it, and I couldn't. I couldn't do it. No, I'm not. Because Deontay is a quarterback's best friend, no matter what. Because he's a great route runner. He's going to get open, and he's going to be the security blanket there. Like Patty Fry is really good down in the red zone, but the volume monster is still Deontay. So I don't know if that's really going to change that much.
Yeah, Deontay and Debo for me as well. I think Ingram is a nice option, but I can't do it over those two. Like, let's not act like Ben Roethlisberger is out here on like an MVP pace.
Right.
Like Big Ben has been dog shit.
Dog shit
So,
again. A lot with the dog shit today.
CHB, appreciate the kind words. CHB needs some RB help here. Ramondre, Ty Johnson, Eno Benjamin, or Mike Davis. You better hope that Ramondre Stevenson can clear concussion.
That was my exact thought. Well, Ramondre.
Let's say that Ramondre doesn't play because we're locking him in if he does. But let's say he doesn't clear concussion protocol. Ty Johnson, Eno Benjamin, or Mike Davis.
Christ almighty. I think I'm going Mike Davis and Ty Johnson.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, Ty Johnson and Mike Davis are definitely safer because they get snaps. Mike Davis is always going to have a chance to get into the end zone. Ty Johnson is going to catch his fair share of balls. We're not sure what Eno.
So let's say Ramondre does play. Who's the second one you're putting in if Ramondre does play?
Probably Ty Johnson. Ugh. Sorry. You?
I'm just not going to answer. I'm gonna let you take that.
I apparently didn't have the option, so I mean, at least he knows because he's like Mike Davis. Shake my head.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss. Condolences.
I think I might go Ramondre and Mike Davis. Because like you know he's getting touches. Like Ty Johnson could get some catches. He could get some touches. But with Ridley being out, that has, made Cordarrelle Patterson, he's still getting his rushing involvement as well, but obviously a little bit more in the passing game too, whenever you're running out Russell Gage and Olamide Zaccheaus. So I think I would go Ramondre, Mike Davis. If Ramondre is out, Ty Johnson and Mike Davis. So RC has some injury complaints here, and rightfully so. My goodness. Collins, McKissick, Pollard, Ayuk, Fant. It's one of the last two for me. It's probably one of the last two for you as well. Who do you like?
You only got to pick one?
Seems like it.
That's not that, dude. That's not bad for considering what you've lost already.
Yeah.
If you only have to go pick between one of these guys, good job. JD, I'm blanking on JD.
McKissick.
Dumbass Thomas. Good job. I think Fant probably has the best chance to get in the end zone, but
or do you like Collins with no Chris Carson this week?
Yeah, I really don't want to say McKissick just because of my hatred. I probably go Collins because, just no Carson. Ayuk, I think, is the biggest upside there. And I think Collins is your safest to get you 10 to 15 points.
10 to 11.
I was basically saying he might get a 1-yard touchdown, and then it bumps to 15.
Man. I wish you had worse options.
Yeah, they're all like
Yeah.
right in that flex.
Pollard and McKissick, I'm not messing with. I think Collins, if you just like, if you need touches, if you just need some points, but with your injuries, you might need upside.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go.
Ayuk and Fant definitely
Ayuk.
have bigger upside than
Yeah,
than
I'm gonna go
Collins.
Ayuk.
I'm good with that.
TX416 with Ben out, Deontay, Ayuk, or Van Jefferson.
God damn it! Well, this is just a precursor for your guys' show tomorrow morning. Hello.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
go
Van
Van Jeff
as third. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'd probably go Van Jefferson this week.
Yeah, Van Jefferson for me. CHB, if you did not see the news, Big Ben is out.
It made a decision for you, so that's pretty cool. And also not at all.
See, is Trevor Lawrence available?
Dude, honestly, if Kyler was out, I was starting Teddy Bridgewater tomorrow because fuck the Eagles.
Yeah, like is Trevor Lawrence, Teddy B, or what? Like one of those guys available? I mean,
yeah. If
I'm not going
on Teddy. Go Teddy.
Yeah. Should I do Mahomes for Rodgers?
Did someone offer you that? That would be my question.
Yeah, it seems like Perry's trying to get rid of Mahomes.
I'd stick Mahomes probably.
Yeah, I can't.
No, you got to get plus.
Yeah. Just, I understand it's been very, very frustrating, but
yeah, you need some dessert
on
top of
that. Gotta figure they get it straightened out. Like there's no way they can be this bad offensively the rest of the year. Right. I think they'll get it.
And then Rodgers has been like huffing glue because Joe Rogan told him that's what cures COVID. So who knows how he's going to come back.
Would we trade for Ridley? This one from Thomas, or is it too risky? It all depends on what you're giving up, Thomas. Like if you can give something up like super cheap, like if someone, say the person who has Ridley is just trying to make it into the playoffs, and you know what I mean, like you can offer them like a kind of like a bottom like bench piece that like you don't need, and like you're feeling okay about your team, and you want to like have that like in your that ace in the hole in your back pocket. I think you can, but like if you have to give up like anything, even like 70% of his value, like I'm not going to do it. But if you can get him on the cheap, I would do it.
Yeah.
Alan, AJB, Michael. What are you crying for, Ron?
This is a work.
Look at this team with what? Just me and my grandma in the nursing home. But I'm feeling great about my chances.
And the blind janitor who drinks toilet water. Listen, it's a thing. I've seen it happen.
Either way, I win this year. Listen, I get it. I get it. But with that starting lineup, with you losing 6 starters, like that looks like just a regular lineup. Like that doesn't look like a lineup where you lost that many. AO has this one.
So yeah, like we said, good job. And you're not dead in the water.
Right. Your tears are over. We heard it in the Discord. We're hearing it now. You're getting all your emotions out.
I would probably be doing the same thing if I were you. So just keeping it real there.
So I would walk
up. I would walk up to the gas station attendant or like in a Wawa. I don't know. You probably guys around the Northeast don't know what a Wawa is, and I'd be like, I lost fucking Henry and Ridley and everybody this week. I had to trade for Cordell Patterson and give up way too much. It's 2021, bro.
You're walking past a homeless person on the street asking for change. You're like, change? Do you know what I've lost?
I went to confession to talk to a priest about what I've lost and then what I've done.
So Anthony Ort, another flex here. Stevenson, if he plays, yes. Mike Davis or Ty Johnson. So Stevens, I would have it in the order that you have it listed out. Listed out. Anthony. That's how I
you're
would
in North
roll with
Carolina
that
now.
one.
You can talk however you want. No one pays attention to it. As long as you have
I
all your
said-
teeth, you're fine.
I said y'all the other day,
Yeah.
without thinking about it, and I made myself throw up after I did it. It was,
that's good. So you went from a Yinzer to a Yaller.
Yeah. No, Yinzer for life. I will never be a yaller.
From Yinzer to Yaller, I'm Cody Kutzer, and we're here for Prop Talk. Sound about right? That's 3 weeks.
RC
Week
just said
14
John.
Prop Talk. Here we is.
Alexis has a question. Eli or Mike Williams at the flex?
Oh, man.
And then we can list off our player props. And then we'll get out of here on this one.
I think I like... Man, I can't believe it's this tough of a question.
Yeah, I know.
Because Eli's definitely your floor. So if you need 12 to 16 points, that's Eli. If you need a boom guy, that's Mike Williams. So that's how I would answer that question. It depends on your matchup.
Yeah. Alexis, if you feel good about your matchup and you just need safe points, go Eli. But if you're looking at your matchup and you need someone a little bit more boom bust, because I don't think Eli's going to have one of his big games this week going up against LA. Unless, Kyle Shanahan decides to use him in the passing game, which he should have been doing its entire time. But even then, I don't think he has a huge game. So if you're looking at your matchup, you need some upside, go Mike Williams. But if you just need some solid points, and the fact that you can put Mike Williams in your flex, good job. And as far as the props that we like, I'm not going to dive into them, but I will rattle mine off, and then Tom, you can rattle yours off. Aaron Jones over 90.5 total yards. Austin Eckler over 101.5 total yards. And then Michael Pittman over 64.5 receiving yards.
Cordell Patterson, 91.5 rushing and receiving. Mike Evans over 71.5. I love that one. Jerry Jeudy over 5.5 receptions. Also love that one. His yardage is at 65.5. Like that a lot. Jordan Howard over 40.5 yards. Rushing, I like Javonte over 46.5. Fant over 34.5. Others I didn't really dive into that much, but as I was looking, I was intrigued by. So, go do your numbers. These are not, completely officially recommended or whatever. I just saw them. I was like, that's interesting. Michael Carter, receptions 4.5, plus 130. Tyreek over, basically to get 1 rushing yard. Jonathan Taylor, 113.5, rushing and receiving. I would say go ahead and do that one. And Dalvin Cook's longest rush is at 17.5. That's an interesting one, too. Only one I would sanction officially would be that JT one. Sanction.
For the brand.
Stamp.
So the only thing I would do here, Alexis, and you don't have to do it, but because you have Chase and Higgins, might want to see if somebody would take Higgins off your hand. But other than that, you're stacked. Very well done. This is a really nice team.
Yeah.
Adams, Chase, Lamb, Williams, Higgins, Waller. Good job.
Honestly, I would see if I could package Barkley and Higgins and get a big upgrade somewhere. At running back, hopefully. But
where are you going to go though? You can't feel great about CMC.
I mean, if you
can't
can
feel
get
great about Kamara.
I mean, you're probably not going to get JT for that. You're probably not going to get Kamara. If you can get Najee for that, I'm all in.
Yeah.
You need more consistency than Saquon, and your lineup is really good, and you have, basically Mike Williams is in your flex or Eli, so you have that potential to do a 2-for-1, whether it's 2 wide receivers for an upgrade or get one of those running backs out of there with an upgrade. And the guy that I would probably move would be, Higgins out of your group and then Barkley out of the running back group, because that's going to get you your biggest return. Because name value.
Yeah, wait till Barkley comes back and pops off, or at least he's healthy and makes it through a game first, and his value will jump right back up. And you might not even have to add Higgins to that. You might just be able to do a swap straight across for, a Najee and Eckler, somebody like that. So, Kev, you always come in at the end. You missed it. I talked about a Dan Arnold prop. I want you to know I talked about Dan Arnold in a prop.
Right. And that was right after I talked about a strip club floor.
So it was perfect marriage of the two worlds. We appreciate all you guys. Any other questions, drop them in the YouTube comments or join our Discord. Absolutely free. We will be live tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., taking you all the way up to kickoff as well. So if any other crazy news comes out, anyone else gets COVID, anyone else is inactive, walks away from the team, whatever it is, we'll be here to help you out. We'll be live, like I said, from 11 a.m. until 12:30 tomorrow. So, see, Kevin coming in, he's startable. He's startable. Depends on what else you have. You probably, I don't think he's a must start, but I think Mark Ingram, I think he makes a lot of sense for DFS. But if you're setting lineups, you probably have better options. But I do like Mark Ingram.
Kevin, his over for total yardage is sitting at 83.5. You're slamming that? It's a bit much.
Oop.
That's like,
well, now this news
like
coming. This news coming through right now.
What? What do we have?
The Cardinals are pessimistic about Kyler Murray. So it looks like you are starting Teddy Bridgewater against your Eagles in this game that you're talking about, all the overs and all the props in. So I can't wait for the group chats tomorrow. If you guys have not joined the Discord, join tomorrow for this.
6-3.
Just for this. So
and it's a 425 game. So yeah, awesome.
Gonna sit there and stew in that.
I'm going to go find a jellyfish and wear it as a fucking hat at 5:00. How's that?
See, Kev, here's your answer for. We had a question from Thomas on Wednesday, and he was like, "Is this Corson?" So Pittman or Keenan, rest of season, half PPR. Keenan for me, but it is close. I do really like Pittman, but Keenan's volume is just too much to go away from.
Yeah, no, like it's crazy that's a question. It's outstanding. I love it for Pittman, but it's still got to be Keenan.
There you have it. I don't want to jinx us anymore, as I was just talking about crazy news. Kyler Murray now looking like he is going to be out tomorrow, and I can't imagine they force back D-Hop if that's the case either. So we'll be here for you guys tomorrow morning, like I said, 11 a.m., same channel, or join the Discord. You can always ask your questions over there. So for Tom, for myself, for TFA, good luck this week, and we'll talk to you all soon.